Today we're going to talk about the importance of preparing for the interview. Now, some of us have been blessed with being able to speak off the cuff. Most of us not. Most of us need to actually prepare for what we're doing, where we're going, the how, etc. And that essentially takes the edge off your ability to relax as you go and do whatever it is you're attempting to do. When you've done a little preparation, you feel a little bit more confident and comfortable. Now that we understand the importance of setting the goal first and understand what motivates our job search, and we have some input to prepare your CV, let's talk about being ready for the interview. This segment covers more important pointers to consider in preparing yourself for the interview. So we'll cover some basic do's and don'ts that we've experienced over time, that candidates still persist in exhibiting, immediately putting themselves out of the running for that particular job. An age-old thought to ponder is, do you get a second chance to make a first impression? So, let's go through a couple of pointers. Be punctual. Plan your route. Make allowance for traffic jams. And if you live in Cape Town, even more so. Arrive early so you can settle yourself emotionally and mentally and relax into the interview. I always say to our candidates, take your personality into the interview with you. That kind of talks to the authenticity of you as an individual. Be presentable. No jeans and tackies. Gents, a tie is not essential, but a jacket always does the trick. Ladies, no cleavage, short skirts. You're not wanting to attract a would-be suitor. Do some research on the company. Show you've actually taken the time, the interest in researching, and you know something about the company. Perhaps they've been in the media recently with an acquisition, they're embracing a new technology. Go and learn something about the company. Provide some examples of your experience relevant to the job spec. Use the acronym. I use it often and it helps people. For some of you, you might know the 4 whiskeys in the hotel: who, what, why, when, how, etc. In your prep. It helps you to be very specific and focused. Do you know what you're selling in terms of your skills relevant to the job? What is your USP? Let's use a little marketing speak here. Your unique selling point, your differentiator. Really talking around what's different, what makes you different. Role play with an experienced person some answers to the standard questions. This helps. It will assist you in the ability to deal with some of the arbitrary questions being thrown at you. Make sure your CV clearly conveys personal strengths and your ability to do the job. You'll be amazed at how many people don't do that. They just shove bullet points out there, which doesn't talk too much of anything. Prepare some answers to the following questions. Why should the client choose you? What are your strengths? How do you deal with conflict? That's an obvious question and a common question that people ask all the time. Be prepared to answer seemingly obscure, non-work related questions. For example, I've got a client that will ask you how to demonstrate an action response to something. The question is, you want to boil some water and the kettle's not working. What's the first thing you're going to do? What do you think the client's looking for here? The client wants to see what is often the process, logical, analytical thinking that you display in your response. It might sound stupid, but for the interviewer, they're looking for very specific response. And those are some of the important bits of information just in preparing for the CV. The importance of preparing, I cannot begin to tell you. I often have candidates who come here and you ask them questions, and I'm talking a pre-interview conversation. They have no idea how to respond. And this is not even a formal interview where they're actually going to see the client. So I'm going to encourage you to go and do a little bit of prep. It's going to make you a whole lot more confident.